Okay.
All right. So I don't know where this is going live because for many of you that have been following me, I am in Facebook jail. I am not allowed to stream anything. It
Sorry.
does say that we're going live, but I'm not sure where it's streaming. So I'm going to keep on talking here, and we're just gonna hope that it does go live. So I today I have Dean Renfro with me, and typically I would open these shows up with saying we're on Personal Growth Live. So as this feeds back to my YouTube channel,
Typically, I would open these
uh,
shows up with saying,
hey, there
sorry.
we go. That's okay. No,
I was checking Facebook to see if you were live on Facebook, and you are.
am I?
And I'm going to make a comment to see if you can see it.
Okay, that is great. This
Sorry, I
is
didn't mean to interrupt your show.
no, no,
I
no.
shouldn't
I
have did it.
love
I'm
this.
sorry.
I love this.
All right, let's see if it shows up in your comments
Okay.
in StreamYard.
All right.
Let's see, live comments. I hadn't seen it yet, but it may take a second.
Okay.
But I would hope it's supposed to.
Isn't this fun? So
Yeah. So anyway, go ahead.
so we're testing this out. So who knows? Oh, there's 4 people on here. Oh, that's great. All right. So YouTube, we're trying to test this out because I got put in Facebook jail. I think I was trying to share other people like I love to do. I love to share everybody's messages. I was on my group Facebook page, Everyday Leaders, and I was promoting and recommending pages and what we believe by my good friend Dean Renfro that studies all these analytics is that I may have put too many things on there too fast. May have put too many things on there too fast. And so, I don't really care because what I'm doing is from my heart. I'm not doing it for any reason but to just help everybody else. So I wanted to bring Dean on here though, because he's doing something really great in the Houston, Conroe, Texas area for restaurant owners. And so I saw this on a post today. I couldn't respond because I'm in Facebook jail. I couldn't do it. So I had to go to Everyday Leaders, which I could actually tag Dean and say, hey, would you join me tonight? And let's get on here and see if it'll broadcast anywhere. So the great thing is, we think it's streaming to Facebook, which that is great, into the group and into my YouTube channel. So Dean, thanks for being my guinea pig always.
Yeah. No problem.
You got me onto StreamYard, and I
Well,
love the
that's
server.
one of those things. That's kind of one of my gift things is I like to help people fix stuff, and when they get in a jam, try to figure out a way to do it. Because one big thing I've learned from our mentor John Maxwell is there's always a way. There's a way. You just have to try to talk to the right person, find the right resource. There's a way to fix it, way to get around it, way to conquer it somewhere or another. And there's another, we would say, but most people wouldn't accept this very well. There's always another way to skin a cat.
There is
And I don't know where that came from, but for the animal people and cat people, I'm sorry, I don't practice cat skinning, but
well, but you know what? When you get told, just like this virus, right? I've been going berserk for the last 24 hours. So people that know me, I was like, wait a minute. I am quarantined to my house, not because I have the virus, but because I'm trying to protect myself because I have
right.
asthma and I don't want to get this stuff. But anyway, now that I've been quarantined socially and now virtually from Facebook, I just went off the rails because I thought, I am a connector. I cannot have this. So I'm
Yeah,
finding other ways to use my website to start streaming from my website, from Wix platform, my YouTube channel, and then testing this tonight to see what I can do, what it will actually do live versus posting afterwards. So we'll see how that goes.
sure.
But so I really, really wanted to share Dean's story. That was the point of all of this today, which is when we're all in need and we're all trying to figure out how we can help our community. Diane Dick is raising money for pizzas so she can deliver them to the hospitals, which is
Right.
fantastic. We're thinking of ways that, through send out cards as an offering that I use to help teachers have very affordable ways that they could maybe have some closure at the end of the school year
Yeah.
so they can send cards out to their students and administrators. They've got this, maybe they have some money left over in the budget because they haven't spent it. This would be a great way to step into adding value to the students at the end of the year and celebrating that year. Hey, Diane. So I can use it. Yay.
It's getting out there. Somebody can see it. Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to be doing this for 12 hours a day now.
Like
Anyway,
say, there's always a way.
there's always a way. So that's the thing, right?
You're live, but you're
okay.
live, not in Facebook. So
Okay. So how am I wonder if I'm on YouTube live, or you're on Facebook, Diane, watching this. So I'm really curious as to how you are receiving this information. That would be really interesting to know. Yeah.
Where is this showing up at?
Yeah. Tell me, how is it just appearing? So I do have it streaming to my Make Connections for Life page and my Everyday Leaders group page and YouTube. That's where it's going right now. So Diane, if you can help me figure out how you're receiving it, that would be great. So anyway, without further ado, Dean Renfro, you're awesome, and you are doing exactly what Diane's doing. You figured out a solution for the community. And so tell us about what you're doing to help people know about restaurants in the Houston Conroe area that are delivering.
Yeah. So, of course, as a marketing agency, we're like, okay, we can't go, we can't help them. We can't drive traffic because nobody can show up. Somebody else says they're watching on Facebook. That's awesome. So it's on Facebook somewhere, regardless of the ban. So what some of the marketers got together and we said, okay, what can we do? And so what we realized is, well, we could make the directory, make a directory of restaurants that are open, for carry out, takeout, and delivery, and let them, and then broadcast that to the community and let them do it. And because we found there's several of us, not just in the directory business, but there's been several food execs get on and create groups and start promoting, said, hey, if you're going to do a carry out or a takeout, when you do that, post it in this group so other people know they're open and that kind of thing. So we just started a page in a directory that the restaurant owner can go and register his business. It puts a Google map on it. It gives them their time, a phone number, everything that they would normally have in a directory. And so we can start running ads in that local community to help that restaurant owner and the people know, hey, we're open, we're here, and you can come find us. So we started one in Houston and Dallas and San Antonio and Austin, and we've got one set up to start in Atlanta tomorrow. So basically kind of how we're doing that is we're doing it with, when we get 20 restaurants that register, then we'll start pushing it out to that city. So that's why I'm saying everybody that, has people in their town, or they know a restaurant owner, or if they have a favorite place, if they'll send them to our main page, which is delivery and takeout near me.com. If they'll send them there and have them register, then it will put them in the system. And then when we get 20 in a town, well, then we'll create a directory just for that town.
Okay, delivery and takeout near me.com, right?
Yep, delivery. Yeah.
Okay,
I think I can post that in a group if I can get the actual.
Right there. Is that right? Delivery and takeout near me.com. I've got it up on the screen. Is that right? Delivery.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Let me see how do I comment on this thing? Let's see. Yeah, here, let me do it this way. Let's see if this is I just copied that URL. So if that works, you can.
Diane, here we go. See?
Yeah.
There
Good.
we go.
And that's awesome.
There we go. And that's all you have to do, right? In this pandemic that we're in the middle of it, we're all thinking about how we need to be isolated and how we're going to get our own food. So great. You got to think of your needs first. But after that, then you need to get involved. You need to do things for your community to give back. So like Diane's doing, raising money for pizzas. Dean's got this service here. If it's in your city, just do this. Do the delivery and takeout near me.com. And maybe you can start this in your own city, because there are a lot of communities that people are saying, well, I can't get to the grocery store, or I'm afraid to go to the grocery store because of whatever. Or I don't have a way to get there. There's some Ubers that aren't delivering, they're not having services anymore, or you don't have a grocery store that will deliver to you. So here's a lot of things that you can do, right? You can get on this website, you can figure out, is it in your community? If not, connect to Dean Renfro. right?
Yeah,
So
and I think you're right. I mean, my wife went to the grocery store the other day, and she said it was really weird. All these people walking around with masks and gloves, and you're thinking, "Wow, do I even need to be here at this point?" You know, do they have it? Do they not have it? Are they trying to protect themselves? Because you can't blame anybody for being precautionary and all of this, but it does make a totally different experience than that I think anybody was emotionally and mentally and financially and all these things socially prepared to be just cut off from everybody and almost like turning on a light switch. It's like, okay, now you can't go out, you can't do this, you can't do that.
well,
And
you feel like you're in a different country. You do feel like you have gone to a different country.
yeah,
You're on vacation. You know, for those of you that have traveled outside of the US, you know how that feels when you're in Europe and you go into a grocery store and you're like, I can't read the signs. I'm
yeah,
not sure how to weigh things, right? I'm not sure how to use my money. It's all those things that do not feel comfortable right now because we're like, well, could I touch that? Did somebody else just touch that apple?
right,
Right? And how do I wash that to protect myself? Put
exactly,
it put it in the bag, and I had someone, not me, but someone else shared the video, the passing of the coronavirus. I asked them to share it on my Everyday Leaders group page today because it is as simple as if you don't wash your hands, right? We're gonna preach about this social distancing and the proper ways, but if you don't wash your hands and you touch one thing that you have become infected with the virus, how quickly it spreads.
yeah,
And so it is just about protecting yourself so that you're not the carrier, right? That's the
right,
big deal.
yeah.
Don't be the carrier. Stay away. Um,
Well, and I agree. I mean, you know, that's the whole element that I think I mean, I think we're being so proactive in this thing, and everybody, and mostly everybody has decided to participate, which is the good thing. And you know, we're not winding up like Italy with, you know, thousands and thousands and thousands of people dying from this because they refuse to.
mhm,
You know, it's short term compared to, you know, being in this cycle for 12 months, 18 months, 24 months. That's happened in the past when these kind of outbreaks have happened because they didn't know any different. They didn't know to take these kind of measures, and we've learned so much about that. So I it's inconvenient for people. It's inconvenient for businesses. You know, it's difficult. But I think as a community, as a country, as we pull together in this, you know, because that's been the American spirit. It's okay. We may all be in different places philosophically and religiously and politically and socially, but when it comes down to it, it's our country. We're going to save it. We're going to get together and do whatever we have to do it. And it's that neighbor helping neighbor, friend helping friend, even if I don't know you, kind of a thing that's is going to prevail over this. I see that. I see people doing it, just like Diane stepping out and doing that. There's other people doing similar projects, helping people. I mean, I saw today where the Patriot football team flew their jet to China to get 1 million and something masks
wow.
and brought them back. And so there, you know, Mary Kay. The president called on Mary Kay to make hand sanitizers. They shut down everything and they shipped out their first order of sanitizer to hospitals and healthcare places yesterday. So there's, you know, people are stepping up and making a difference for
Absolutely.
sure.
Well, and I think about my friends that, you know, have not one domestic bone in their body that are now making masks, right?
Yeah,
And Dennis LaRue, his wife, Jamie, she is making masks and selling them and you know, supporting these with donating a lot of these. But
yeah,
you think about, you know, if you're in healthcare, if you've ever been in healthcare, anybody watching this, and you have said, hey, if we were out of supplies, how would we take care of the sick people? And it is protecting you, but
right,
it's for those people that really, you know, they have something other than the virus. They're coming in there with they need surgery for they've fallen, they need an orthopedic surgery, they have GI problems, they're getting diagnosed with cancer. You know, there's a lot of other things, just not the virus happening, that our healthcare providers, they got to show up
right.
and they still have to perform every single day. So
Yep.
for that, you know, just our applause goes out to them because it's a different world that we live in, and they're having to go above and beyond to think about ways like I've got to protect my patients, but my staff and everybody that is their group, their circle of influence, right? Because when they go into a surgery, think about this. I have a doctor here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and Dr. Andy Katz. He posted something the other day. He had 5 of his staff members, and 3 of them have been exposed, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
now he only has 2 people from his team that know everything that he needs, that knows how he thinks, knows how to get patients ready, just is his support. And think for
Right.
14 days, we've been doing this now for a little over, almost 3 weeks here tomorrow. But
Yep.
think about not having those same people in your circle that can help you get through those strategies for 2 weeks.
Right.
And
Yeah.
your responsibility is to these patients that are coming in every day. So we just need to be really sensitive to the fact that everybody is giving everything that they can. And if you're lucky enough to say, I'm safe, my family is safe, I have everything that I need, it's your turn to step in and give what you can to your community. And so there's a lot of ways that you can do that through GoFundMe pages. Diane Dick can help you set up that. Dean, I'm going to post this again here because you actually gave me the link. So the HTTPS /delivery and takeout near me.com. Again, if you guys need a service, or if you need to understand how to get connected to places that are delivering food to you, to your communities, I'm sure they would even allow you to buy a gift card, right? You can
Yeah.
donate money to
Yep.
them so that they can run their services. And because a lot of them want, they've got kitchens. And so here in Indianapolis, they were saying, well, we have kitchens, so we can provide food for the kids that have school lunches, right? That they
Right.
don't have those provided anymore. So there's just a ton of creativity going on in the world because people say, I can't just sit here. I have to give.
Yeah. I have to do. Yeah, I have to try to make a difference in my community to help the people in my community, because I think more now than ever, business owners, are realizing. I know we all know this from a business perspective of nothing really happens unless a customer buys something, but we kind of took that for granted a lot. But now it's kind of come around to like, no, that's real important. If I'm going to stay in business, feed my family, and I'm going to be here when this is over, then I've got to make a way for my customers to help. Let them help me to do those exact kind of things. And then how can I turn around and serve my community in the midst of all this, like the lunches for kids? I mean, I know a lot of teachers, that was their first. It wasn't were their kids going to get educated, were they going to, it's like, what are my kids going to do for lunch and breakfast? Because a lot of kids, that was it.
Right. And are they going to be safe at home? Right? Are
Right.
they going to be safe at home? Are they going to be able to have technology to even connect to
Yeah.
anything that we have to instruct them to the rest of the year? And are they going to have food, right? And
Yeah.
so those are the 3 things that we all say, well, we have those safety things. As adults, you just process like those are the shelter, right? The shelter, the food, the clothing,
Right.
the finances. But kids are in a different spot because they don't know what we know.
Right. Yeah.
Right, and they have a lot of self-inflicted fears already,
Oh yeah.
and so how do we help them, right? How do we help them get through this?
So I think, people are getting innovative, and of course, as we know from our trainings and stuff, this is the kind of thing that forces people to get creative, and think about something outside the box. And as one of my mentors, Dan Kennedy, said, that's where your breakthrough is going to come from. It's not sitting there in front of you on a shelf. It's going to be somebody else doing something with something you never thought about.
That's
One
right.
funny I saw about masks, I saw a lady take boxer underwear, the spandex kind of box, the kind that's tight, and turn it into a mask. You put it over your head, you twist it, you turn it around, pull it back over, and nothing but your eyes are showing. So one of our grandsons is staying with us, and that's the kind he wears. And so I did it, and I went in there, and he's laughing. I said, but here's a lesson, son. When people say you don't have blank because you don't have a store-bought something, that's not the only solution in life. And my daughter, she's just turned 40, and she's at work, and she has a bunch of millennials that work with her and for her, and they were talking about this whole toilet paper thing, and they're like, well, what are we going to do? I mean, what if there's no toilet paper whatsoever? And she just started laughing, and she said, well, my dad and his parents and grandparents, they didn't have disposable diapers back then. They had cloth diapers, and they washed them. Do y'all have t-shirts that you're not going to wear? Yeah. Well, cut them up and make toilet paper out of them and just wash them. And they were like, you can do that? So there's a lot of people that, like you said, they don't know how to cook. They don't have some basic skills that some of us have grown up with, who've been connected to farming and living in the country, and maybe we lived with our grandparents, and our grandparents taught us a lot of things. I mean, my grandparents have been gone quite a while, but there are still lessons today I use from them, that I learned from them growing up as a kid, that in days like this are like important.
Mhm.
It's like, how do you take food and can it so you have it for a long time, and that kind of stuff. And there's people like, I don't know how to do that. Of course, thankfully, there's Google and YouTube. It's going to wind up saving everybody in all this to help people learn how to do stuff.
Oh my gosh, that's so true. But here's the thing, right? Here's the challenge. Somebody challenged me today on our Bible study, which was take 20 minutes, just 20 minutes today. Take a picture of something that you want to accomplish and
Right.
then set your timer.
Yep.
And 20 minutes, just concentrate on that one thing that you want to get done. And so mine was cleaning off my dining room table with taxes because I'm ready to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
And
Right.
so, it's like, here's what it looks like. If you just focus this time and put your energy into it, then you can, if at least feel a little bit of accomplishment.
Right.
Right. And then that, if you don't have somewhere to go, or if you're used to working outside of the home and now you're homebound with your kids and your family, and it probably is very chaotic. I totally understand that. But you
Yeah.
still have to figure out, you have to figure out a list and a task list and put a time schedule to it, because that will help you kind of manage, right? Manage your time, and take a lunch hour, do all that kind of stuff that you're used to doing in a different environment. And it will help you feel like you're getting through your day at least a little bit, easier with a little bit more sense of like purpose, right?
Right. Yeah. And I think that's, of course, I've worked for myself for 40 years, and a lot of time out of my own home. So this whole thing was like, well, hey, that's the only way I know how to work is you
Right.
get up, you get ready, you put on your clothes, you go do your thing. You don't stay in your pajamas and let your beard grow for 6 weeks. You go do your thing. And, but I know a lot of people, because I've talked with a lot of people, that's been the most stressful thing for them, is
Mhm.
how do I figure out, how to get my work done, because I get started and then the kids, Mom, I'm hungry, or the dog starts barking, or this happens or that happens. Oh, I need to move the clothes out of the washer into the dryer. And it's like, no, you don't do that. You
Mhm.
set a time to do that. You don't do that while you're working, because, those of us that work in this kind of environment know that once you stop working on something, you can't come right back to it and pick right back up. It takes 15, 20 minutes to get your brain and everything back to where it needs to go. And for a lot of people that don't work from a home environment, that has been one of the biggest things that they've cried out for help. I got to have help. I've got
Mhm.
to help. I can't figure this out.
Mhm.
And of course, I'm like you. Even though I do this all the time,
Yeah.
this is the lifesaver,
It
because
is.
the other is true. You can get so engrossed in your work that you don't realize all your mental capacity and emotion is draining down because you didn't stop. And
Well,
so I set it for 15 minutes. When it goes off, I get up, I stop, I do something else, I come back, unless I'm just right in the middle of something that I can't. Yeah.
and,
So
also on your phone, right?
yeah.
If you haven't used this before, there are all kinds of buttons and things on your phone. Take a break, right? This is kind of a training here, but take a break from your phone. Turn your phone off
Oh,
for
yeah. Turn it
certain
off.
times of the day, whether it be for hours while you're trying to figure something out, or really focus on something, or have family time. Many people had started that. If you go out to a restaurant, you leave your phones in the car, you leave your phones in your purse and your pocket, whatever. But this is a great time to start practicing those strategies to be with your family
Yep.
and turn some of those technology pieces off. Here we're on technology, but turn some
Yeah.
of these off, right?
Yeah.
For a lot of chunks of time during the day. So because this is a time when you can influence your family and figure out, like, what are we going to teach our kids today? How are
Right.
we going to get them involved? I love everybody's doing puzzles, which I
Yeah.
think is just great because that
Right.
gives you strategy around what you're going to do the
Right.
side pieces first, you can do the center, like,
Right.
but it's a great team building for your family. But there's so many other things. It's been getting nice out in the Midwest, so some yard work you can do. outside and teach your kids how to do really simple things like rake the leaves or cut the grass or trim the flowers back, right?
Yep.
And so it doesn't take a lot to just do things that you've never had the time maybe to do. And that's gonna last forever. Those memories, they're gonna
Yep.
think about the
They'll stay with you
time.
forever.
They're gonna think about the time that we have right now, the COVID-19. It's not gonna be about, well, we had to wear a mask. It was those were really special times that we got to spend with the family.
Yep. I agree.
So how cool. Well, let me so if
Well,
you
I
just
think you
joined
have
us,
solved this thing. You have figured out I'm going to do this anyway, and it's going to happen anyhow. Of course,
that's
you
right.
may not always be able to see who people are, because that's probably the big thing they've got you blocked. Like you got a Facebook user that says "woohoo," but you don't
Yeah.
know who it is. But your people you're connected to, like Diane, come on and commented. Well, then they're there.
Yes, and so I know that I've got Make Connections for Life and the Everyday Leaders group right now and YouTube. Those are the 3 channels that are streaming to this. So, this will be fun to kinda go through and see where this did post, but I wanna remind you the biggest part tonight was about getting Dean's message out. So, if you are a restaurant owner, someone that is interested in getting takeout in your city, go to this website, deliveryandtakeoutnearme.com and connect, or find Dean Renfro on Facebook because he's not in Facebook jail. He can comment to you.
Not today, I'm not. Not today.
No, I didn't sneak out of jail. I'm just trying to figure out where I actually can communicate. So, I can't post links in my groups. I can't do any of that. I can't post if you're in a group and I'm in your group. I can't comment for the next week, but I can do this. So if you want to connect to me, tag me or whatever. I'll bring you on live and we can share what you want to share with me. Let's do that because this is a great way. This is a great platform. And Dean was the one that brought me into this. So I celebrate you, Dean. I always support you. And I want people to just, you're always doing great things in your community. So, so thank you for being a guest tonight.
Yeah, I'm glad I can be here. And that user that's craving Papacitas, if you go by, hey, there's a great place you need to go register your restaurant so other people can come by and get Papacitas. And so yeah. Thank you again. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate the opportunity. Glad we can help.
Yep.
Actually, this, part of all this happened today, I think, simply because Eric Reed posted something and I commented something. He asked, "What are you doing?" And I put that in there. You saw it. You tagged me and I saw you and what you did. And so, but that's how the community thing works for people. It is just take the opportunity to be ready to help somebody and no telling what'll happen.
That's exactly right. So
Yeah.
thanks for all you do, Dean. If you guys are in Houston, Conroe, look Dean up and get involved in what he's doing in the community because he's making a big difference and he is changing the world as an everyday leader.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dean. Have a good night.
Yes, we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Bye.